Are you living your life based on what truly resonates with you? Or are you living your life through someone else's lens? Are you living your life based off of what's socially acceptable versus how you feel truly resonates with you internally?
How often do you practice svadhyaya?
Study of the mind can really be impactful in your yoga journey, where we choose to reflect within and see where those subtleties of knowing when we're performing versus knowing when we actually can breathe and embody in something that we enjoy. Let's think about when we are amongst a group of people. You observe the room. You see the presentations that people have. You hear how they're conducting themselves, and you also observe what they're wearing. That's all looking externally with how that perception really impacts us internally. Does that switch turn on to say, this is who I am because I am like you, and therefore we connect because of the way we speak to each other and the way we look and we perceive each other? What our statuses say about ourselves, that we're considered equal. But deep down inside, subconsciously, you're saying, I know that I am not where this current present of beings, aka people, are currently at. When you go home, you feel like a weight has been lifted from your shoulders. You see the mask slowly peeling from your skin as you place that frame on the counter and you brush your teeth and you wash your face and you wash your body to now come back and relax and sit in your living room and watch a TV of your favorite show or your favorite movie, where you truly get to laugh and bond and connect with what you currently are watching. We can really work on our inner being and finding that way to present ourselves and still be ourselves amongst individuals who may not directly align with who we are. You can learn how to definitively communicate and efficiently communicate with others while still being able to maintain who you are in that present moment. That's where a well-rounded yogi can allow themselves to still be authentic in their most natural nature. This happens the more frequent you actually do the inner work to know who you truly are. There's so many elements of yoga and so many influences outside of your personal asana practice that can help you truly reflect who you are truly designed to be. We all have differences in our personalities and our characteristics and our morals, our values, our cultural influences. They're all impactful to how we are and how we go about our day-to-day lives. I personally believe culturally that has a lot to do with how we engage with others. But the one thing that truly keeps you connected is knowing how to operate from the heart, as well as effectively communicating to individuals where you know how to ebb and flow in a conversation, where you know how to bond without losing your sense of self. And you also know how to discern and know when it's time to exit from said encounter. So how can this influence of this particular niyama allow us to influence our personal growth? The more discipline, the more discernment that you use, the art of self-study allows us to really take in the moment. Another mindfulness practice. Everything is about mindset if you honestly understand how we go about living in the world and engaging with others and the influences that impact our lives on a daily basis. You choose to self-reflect, write things down, take a walk, communicate, engage with others in a sense that continues to feed who we are internally, but also allows you to give back in whatever way is meaningful to you. Whether that's conversation, spending time with family members, community and events and other influences that help us to identify and check back in with ourselves at the end of the day. I encourage you to work on mindfulness practices that are helpful to you in your personal growth journey while you're off the mat. after you've practiced your asana sequences and or go to a studio and have a class for the day, whether it's hatha, vinyasa, bikram, yin, restorative, and any other styles of yoga, ashtanga, that helps cultivate the awareness of what's happening internally as you hear the influences of other individuals and how their words and things that they do and say impact you internally. We have this thing called triggers, subtle or quite obvious, that puts us in a reactionary state of being. The more you choose to have the ability to say, I'm aware that this has taken place, and I'm choosing to actually not react, but to respond to what's currently happening in the present moment, you have the awareness and the wisdom to know what to do or say next. The more you choose to react, you are subconsciously giving your power back to that influence, back to that negative impact, back to that person who is trying to get you out of character. The more you work on studying your mindset, bringing that connection from your mind to your heart to know and to check in internally and say, where is this currently making me feel that where I am instantly in the position to react versus choosing to wait to respond? I can bring that awareness to that thought, that previous experience, that historical influence that makes me feel so overwhelmed on the inside. It's at that moment where you say, they are not taking the power that I have within me to know how to regulate my emotions, to know where to go from here in order to then respond to that occurrence or to that experience. The more you subconsciously react, the more you react before you respond, you are giving your power back to that individual. You're giving your power away and you don't even know it. So Svadhyaya can help you to further your discipline and have the capacity to take on those negative influences and say, I remember this occurrence happening. Instead, I choose to respond in this manner versus outwardly react and subconsciously give my power to that thing that is keeping me in an uncomfortable position, in an overstimulated mindset, in an overwhelming state of being, when in actuality, I have the ability to choose peace and balance and control over something that I am no longer giving my control to. Svadhyaya, study of the mind, the art of actually finding that balance to keep you in equilibrium with who you truly are. Practicing the yamas and niyamas is not just something just to say you do. It's a way of being. It's that current state of influence and that guide and that framework to help us maintain being in chaos while still being true to ourselves and finding that state of peace within to still be who you truly are, although you have these negative influences that can take us out of our character. The more we do these things, the more awakened we become, and knowing how to not be so easily influenced by the things that impact our lives on a daily basis. We have one more niyama to cover. So far, which niyama is helping you become a more well-rounded yogi and allowing you to remain balanced on and off the mat? The more we hear the phrase, it is what it is, how often do you find yourself struggling to receive what that means? And what can we do about it when we choose to resist or it's hard to define what is that it is? Let's talk about it more in this video here.